Hello students, today we are going to start the fifth chapter of your module 3, that is security at the transport layer. So here to provide the security we are going to use the secure socket layer protocol, that we are going to call it as the SSL protocol, where this one has been developed by the Netscape in 1994 and has emerged as the principal means of securing the communication between the internet client and the server, that is nothing but your browser and the server. It was standardized by IETF in 1999 and called the transport layer security. Next is what do you mean by SSL security layer? SSL, it is actually sandwiched between TCP and the application layer. Here SSL actually it is consist of two parts, SSL handshake and the SSL record layer protocol. So this SSL protocol, it will be sandwiched between your application layer and the TCP layer. SSL, it is a application protocol independent, means it is not going to work for a specific application, it is going to work for all the application protocols here. Protocols such as your HTTP, FTP, SMTP, IMAP and the POP can also run over the SSL protocol. Application protocol which has been secured by the SSL are is suffixed by the letter S and run over the different port numbers. For example, we know that HTTP runs over the port 80 in the normal case, but if that HTTP application is secured by the SSL, then that time that protocol will be suffixed with the letter S and run on the port 443. Similarly, file transport protocol run on the port number 21 in a normal case. If it is secured by the SSL, then it is suffixed by the S and run over the port 990. SSL actually it is comprised of two main protocol, the handshake protocol and the record layer protocol. Server authentication in the SSL, it is mandatory and performed as a part of in the first protocol, that is handshake protocol, and the handshake protocol is also responsible for deriving the keys which will be used for encryption and the MAC computation. This is the SSL on the protocol stack here. The actual job of providing the message authentication plus integrity checking and encryption, it is performed by the SSL record layer protocol. It sits just below the handshake protocol and protects each message which has been exchanged by the two communicating parties. The record layer protocol, it is also detect for the replay, reorder and the duplicate packets. Next, SSL handshake protocol. Here it is going to follow the 4 steps. Before that, steps in the handshake protocol, the client initiates the handshake with the server to either start a new session, resume an existing session or establish a new connection with an existing session. The main steps in the SSL handshake for establishing a new session are as follows. The first one is agreement on the common cipher suite which is to be used in the new session, recipient and the validation of the server certificate by the client, communication of the pre-master secret and computation of the derived secrets, and in the fourth step, integrity verification of handshake messages and the server authentication. We are going to see these 4 steps in detail. These are the messages which has been exchanged between client and server in the SSL protocol. It has been divided into 4 steps, step 1, step 2, step 3 and the step 4. The first step is 2 messages are communicating in these steps, which are client hello and the client server. First, the client want to initiate the communication, so it is going to send a client hello message. As a reply, server is going to send a server hello message. Whenever the client and server are going to exchange these hello messages, the following decisions has been taken here. Should a new session is to be established or should an existing one to be reused? For a new session, the session ID field in the client hello message is 0, else the field is set to the ID of the session which has to be reused. The session ID field in the server hello message is the ID of the new session to be established or the ID of the existing session. The algorithm which will be used in computing the MAC for message integrity include the MD5 and the SHA-1. The key exchange method used for communicating the pre-master secret. In addition to agreeing the cipher suit, both the sides they are going to choose and exchange a 232-bit nouns, that is RA and RB, in these steps. Then the second step is the server is going to communicate or send its certificate to the client. So in this step 2, server is going to just send his certificate. On the recipient of that certificate, client checks the owner's name, URL and the validity period of that certificate. It also verifies the signature of the CA on the certificate. And after successful verification of these fields, does not guarantee the authentication of the server. Actually, the authentication of the server is occur only after at the end of your fourth step. Then in the step 3rd, the client chooses a pre-master which is a 48-byte random number. Okay, then the pre-master secret is encrypted with the server's public key and sent to the server in the client key exchange message here. So here client is going to select a 48-byte of random number that will be encrypted with the server's public key, and that information will be sent in the client key exchange. Thereafter, both the client and server they are going to compute the master secret, and this is actually a HMAC style of function, that is the function which will be applied on the pre-master secret with the nouns RA and the RB and with some predefined constant. So like this they are going to calculate the master secret. Then the computation which will be uses the standard cryptographic hash functions such as the SHA-1 or the MDS are there. So after calculating the master secret, different 6 secrets has been derived using that style functions only. So here derived secret IV is there, which will be computed by applying the function on the master secret, nouns RA, RB and the constants. So these 6 derived secrets they are going to indicate that the initialization vector for encrypting the message from client to the server, then initialization vector for encrypting the message from server to the client, secret key for encrypting the message from client to server, and secret key for encrypting the message from server to the client, secret for computing keyed hash on the messages from client to the server, and secret for computing the keyed hash on the message from server to the client. So these 6 keys has been derived by using the master key, which will be computed here. Master secret is equal to function on the pre-master secret and RA and RB constant, and this thing will be done in the step 3, that is client key exchange. Then in the 4th step, these steps is going to involve the exchange of 2 messages in each direction. See here, change cipher spec finished and the change cipher spec finished is there. Two message has been exchanged between the client and server. The first of this is the change cipher spec message. The party that sends this message signals that from now onwards on the cipher suit and the key computed will be used. The second message in this step is the finished message. This message includes a keyed hash on the concatenation of all the handshake messages sent on the preceding steps plus the predefined constant. The keyed hash serves as an integrity check on the previous handshake messages. After the server is going to receive the change cipher spec and finished message from the client, it verifies the computation of the keyed hash. It then computes its own keyed hash that covers the previous handshake messages plus the predefined constant, which is distinct from the one which is used by the client. Thank you.